Thank Godot, it's Friday. Hello, hello everyone. How's it going? Let's transition this music in a different direction here. All right. Oop. Wrong window. Oop. Green screen. Right. Oh, got the lights. I forgot everything today. At least it's Friday. Yep, you got it, Nix. How are you doing? Nice. Oh, less nice. But hopefully that helps a lot. All right, so we made our little door proxy thing yesterday. Still, I'm not sure what I want to do about this. I thought about how to fix this issue. Yeah, no, that's good. I hope that works out. Thank you for the hydrate. I'm gonna defy your hydrate and drink this coffee. You gotta dehydrate to hydrate, you know. All right, so we're still working on doors, pretty much. We're working on integrating doors into the new format. This isn't a terribly efficient packing either. I can't think of a better way to do this though. I missed a couple of hydrates. Well, that explains why I'm dehydrated. No refunds. This is consistent with our other system, right? Is that why? That's why I've decided to do it this way. Hull type block. I realized we can put the doors at the end of this hull type block segment. I also thought I kind of want to dither this. Would that be crazy? What color is this anyway? Is this new? Did these not used to be absolute black outlines? I guess they didn't. I kind of want to dither these. This texture, the like interior blackout texture. I have to think about that. But yeah, I think I'm going to stick the doors here at the end. Or maybe I'll leave them separate. I don't know. There's a lot of wasted space in here. And this way, this is just the hull type material. This is just a simple material based on the hull type. And it can just be one piece. And I kind of like that. So maybe we do that. And we'd bring over the whole... We'd just bring over the whole layer. No, maybe not that one first, though. Yeah, but I thought about a way of fixing the issue where, excuse me, thought about the way of fixing the issue where right now you can place doors down where like they can't be. Like you can just put a door block somewhere. I thought about how to fix that, which would be to make it so that a door can only ever replace a wall. So like you mark off all the walls and then you can replace a wall with a door. Thinking about doing it that way. Tempted to try that. All right, so we'll finish this tile set atlas source. We will update the actual tile sets with this new material. We'll get that plugged in. We should be pretty good. We should be pretty good to go at that point. I've entered advanced mode. You're gonna bounce, you're watching. Oh, your 2 towers, nice. Good stuff. Take it easy, Nix. Crazy how each of the movies are 4-hour long. Yeah, when you watch the right version. The only version, the extended editions. Yeah, I love those. Love those films. Those are always a good time. I don't know how many times I've watched those, but it's never too many.
Your logic was impeccable, Captain.
Thank you. All right, here we go. So we got this now. So we got all our doors added. Re-export this. Glad we were able to find a use for this extra space here. I feel like eventually we'll want to think of something else. I guess in other cases, the individual doors might not necessarily be the same as it might be part of the same pack of materials as this. The only other thing is we kind of need to write out the tile format a little bit, maybe. I've just changed how this works. I think I should do this a little differently than the way I have it arranged here. I'm going to move these things around a little bit. Could the doubles fit next to the singles here? Or could I just do this? Yeah, I could. Let's do that. That way we at least have a little more room if we want to add something else to this later. I think that sounds good to me. Okay, that looks at least like I was trying. What's the size of these? I thought it was 40. So that's 40. Is this also 40? Or is there a gap? Okay, that's also 40. Okay. And that's good. That'll do. Let's get this set up in the engine. Should I change the name of this to like door proxy layer? The real question is, do I need a proxy layer separate from the regular layer, or can it just be one layer, like just a door layer? I guess I could. What was a door proxy layer? All right, I'm going to swap these out. Why is the spacing so crazy for these? .48 by 36. Okay. Oh, oops. Set up all the texture origins for these doors. Oh, I could have also done these ones too, huh? All right, double doors sorted. Last set, triple doors. All right. Triple doors. Here we go. All right, that's it. Now we just have to teach the auto tiler about the new door format. So never again are we can say alt tile ID, we can say constant alt tile ID. Hey, how's it going? How's it going? Thanks for the hydrate. I see you've been playing jam games and generally breaking them. Pursuing outlandish high scores. Sounds fun. All right, so this is still correct. We'll still do this. So what's changing here? So an inner hull will have x plus 1. That's what we're going to do. No, that's not really how we did this. How did it work before? Oh no, this is how it worked before. Okay, this should continue to work then. Yeah, it's been really cool watching the ratings count just climb. I think the change to encourage and or require comments has turned out real well. I think that was great. I think it's still crazy how big a reach that jam ended up having on, at least for streaming, on Twitch. Because it's like it had such a big streaming presence, even though the the entrant count is was like relatively low compared to like a Ludum Dare or something. It's cool. Is this arrangement still the same? Okay, so this is still consistent. So all of this should already work. Famous last words. So inner plus. So where are the +2s happening? Ah, here we go. Okay. Division, yeah, okay. We use the division. Do we not do that here as well? Oh, we do, okay. Ooh, you're adding a new feature to the site right now? Nice. All right, this should work. Let's give it a try. Let's change this one thing first. All right, testing time. Oh, that's weird. Why is that happening? Oh, wait. Oh. Oh, that's wrong. Oh, I do need to swap based on the axis. Right. Oh, there seems to be a triple door problem as well. Okay. Few changes need to be made. We can say if, or what we can do is we can say door tile dot axes is equal to axes dot y, and atlas chords equals atlas chords with y equals atlas chords dot y plus 2. That should fix that part. I want to start treating doors as bulks. Like, I want both flags. Like, if you've got a bulk that has a door, I want to retain the bulk flag and just add the door flag. So that some systems could just ignore doors. So for some reason, the triple door is not working correctly. Oh, I know what I did. I probably didn't adjust the source ID. It's probably some crazy number. Yeah, it's 5. That's wrong. It should be 2. Easy. Hey, Matthew Sparks. How's it going? Happy Friday. Boy, am I tired. The only thing I am more than tired is thirsty. All right, 1, 2, 3, sort of. Okay, so I messed up something. But what? Oh, that's wrong too. Okay. Oh, does that depend on the axis of the door? It does, doesn't it? Unless I want to arrange it totally differently. Okay. Try to understand this. I understand what's going on here. But what's going on here? You're waiting to hear back about a new job you applied for? Ooh, but yeah, the anticipation is killing you. Yeah, that is hard. For my current job, I had to wait like 2 months to hear back, and it was really rude because apparently they decided to hire me and then they just didn't tell me for like over a month because it was like in the middle of the holidays or something, and I was like dying. So why is this all funky? Let's try to space this out here. Okay, that looks right. What about this? That looks right. I think this is, yeah, this is slid over too far. Okay, I can deal with that. Oh yeah, that's very wrong. Job you have right now, you entered for right before the Christmas holidays. Lol, yeah, I did the same thing. You ended up not starting until like February 4th. It took them forever. Yeah. Turnaround time for the job you're currently applying for is supposedly very fast. You had a screener interview already. You're waiting to find out if you get to do 3 or 4 more interviews. Nice, nice. But yeah, I get why that's stressful. All right, so I messed up these. Should have been more like this. You know, I might do this a little differently. my day job fully remote. The one you're applying for is remote. This will be your first experience with a remote job. My job is mostly remote. I have to go into the office like once every week or two, which I'm trying to slowly reduce the expectations around that. But yeah, that's what I do. It's pretty cool. It's pretty wild. Should I do it like this, or should I do it like this? Get ready to, when you start your remote job, get ready to like gain a ton of weight and feel your whole body kind of just become sedimentary, whatever. Both. But you'll be able to do laundry whenever you want, so that's kind of nice, right? Let's see if I got the triple door right, and if I did, I'll just go fix the double door. You bullied your way into the ability to work from home here. Nice, nice. You just refuse to stop working remote on days when your workload could be done remotely. Thus also avoiding dumb help desk work until they gave in. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, that's very cool. It feels pretty good. I think we're gonna have to do the corner case stuff next week. Can't stand looking at these little weird little dots. That's gonna be pretty big. I guess what we should do is we should start by refactoring the current stuff. All right, so double, single, double, triple, all seems to work on the x-axis, y-axis. The double won't work. Let's see if the triple works. All right, cool. So let's just go fix the double for the y-axis. They just need to flip. They just need to get flipped. This should just be one Atlas switch, huh? I guess then it couldn't be an expression, could it? I'll probably come up with a better way to do this. Not today. Or no, we don't want to switch based on the Atlas. We want to switch based on the door tile division. My error reporting is not good. That's fine. We don't have errors, so we never need to report them. What is this thing complaining about? It is not true. This is definitely a div 4. What the hell is div 4? Oh, do you mean the default case? Weird. In which case I can just get rid of middle. Oh, it's gonna complain about that again, huh? Alright, whatever. There we go. Alright, all the doors should work now. The job you're applying to heavily revolves around supporting one of those. IPA something. What's the IP stand for? Offer tons of API connectors to different platforms. Some kind of platforms as a service thing. I don't know what that means. You've been doing nothing but building various REST APIs for a week, trying to crunch an understanding. Oh, cool. Nice, nice. I spent a while looking into all that stuff. I thought for sure I was going to do like an asynchronous multiplayer game at one point, so I like really dug into how I would do that with like RESTful APIs and like kind of back end. I ended up not doing it, but it's pretty cool to learn. Why is this not considered? Oh, there's a hole. Integration platforms as a service? Oh, okay. That sounds cool. I hope you get it. I hope they let you know soon. Oh, that doesn't work. Why does that not work? What's going on here? Oh, I need to flip the... Okay. Oh, it's because the double doors has a different order, doesn't it? Yeah, okay. Flip the axes that we're looking for here. This is horrible, and this is not documented by the tileset atlas format. I'm gonna need to do something about that. But right now I just kind of want it to be working. Doors are weird and hard to deal with. But it's something I need to figure out because it's not going to be the only thing that's like an interactive node thing that's also considered part of the environment during editing time. All right, these should all work now. Nope. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing apparently, which is I guess not a huge surprise. What? So it should be, for X it should be 0 for the upper segment. For Y, it should be 0 for the for the lower segment. Okay. What did I write here? So if the axes are X, what did I just say? Whoa. Oh, no, here's X. Okay, so for X, the lower segment is 0. Okay. Ah, okay, so that's correct. Oh, it's also not +2, though. And then the upper segment. For along X, it's +1. Just gonna do a very quick test here. All right, single, double. Yep, there we go. Triple. All right, good. The fact that I no longer report invalid, I guess I can maybe do that with like a overlay or something. I don't know. I've just thought what I want to do. So now what we need to do is we need to get the auto tiler to understand that it should treat a door block as if it was an extension of bulk. So that we get that outline going away. This all works though now, so I can delete all of this old code. I can delete like hopefully like a few hundred lines. This old code here that we don't need anymore. Yeah, about 500 lines. That's nice. Love to see it. Bring the tile system under 1,000 lines. We do need to add support back for the overlays. That's probably the next thing we should do, I guess. What did I say I was doing? Oh yeah, hull layer stuff. So hull layer. Start end. If not, block span has block.forms.bulk continue. So I think the easiest thing to do is to treat a door as a bulk. So what we want, that means going to the tool system. Matthew Sparks, since you picked up programming last year, you've done most of learning Go. They're wanting JavaScript. You think the platform is a giant .NET C# app? Well, lucky for you, JavaScript and C# are like, they're like this. They're tight. My day job when I'm programming is entirely pretty much JavaScript. If you understand JavaScript, you'll understand C# and vice versa. The syntax is a little different, but it's like they're very. I think they're very closely related to each other. So I think you'll be all right. You've got very little experience in either. Oh well. I don't know. Maybe I'm super biased because like Unity used to be very JavaScript heavy, like long ago. you could choose between programming in JavaScript or C#. That's probably still true for Unity. I don't know. Who knows? But so I learned JavaScript first, then I learned C#. But I think learning them, I mean, there's syntactical differences, but I think you'll be able to use the same mindset. I think you'll be able to think of them the same way, pretty much. You had no idea Unity ever used JavaScript? Yeah, this was a long time ago, I think. This would have been at least a dozen years ago, not longer. Probably longer. This probably would have been like 2009, 10. It's probably been 15 years ago or something when I was using JavaScript in Unity. C# seems to be the universal indie dev language. I think Unity has a lot to do with that. I don't think there's any reason for that except because of Unity. But yeah, I agree. That's why I think a lot of people pop in here. They see me doing C#, and they're like, "Oh, I know that." You're like, "Oh, a C# Godot dev." You can always tell the Unity refugee in Godot, in the Godot community, because they use C#. All right, I don't remember what I'm doing. Oh yeah, I remember what I'm doing. We're setting it so that when you place a door, it tags it as a bulk. So that way systems that don't differentiate between doors and walls just don't care. And systems that do, I genuinely don't understand where I'm doing this. Oh, maybe I do. Maybe I don't. Maybe I do. I think it's in the palette, actually. Does the palette characteristic tell? It does. Way to define more than one. How do I want to do this? I think the way I'm going to say it is when you try to place a door, it looks to see if where you're trying to place it is already a wall. And it only lets you do that if it is. Let's see if we can do that with our existing tools. I don't think we can. Maybe that's a merge rule. Hey, LS Dev, you write systems heavy stuff? You really care that C# is faster than Godot, than GD script? Yeah. Unity script was basically JavaScript. C# took over at some point in the 2010s. Yeah, they are considered long ago. And yeah, that sounds about right based on my vague memory. But to be fair, Matthew, you don't want to make an ECS in C# either. But yeah, my understanding is that the raw script speed of C# is about 3 to 4 times the raw script speed of GD script. However, that's not a great indicator because when you're using either, if you're working with the engine, you're calling the Godot API. And calling the Godot API from C# is slower than it is in GD script. Because a lot of what we're doing is just calling things into, like, from the engine. Like, and if you're just mostly doing that, you're probably better off with GD script. If you've, for some reason, done something like me and you've got like a whole simulation layer that's off in its own little world, just doing things, then you're talking about like raw scripting speed, and then like that's fine. But then you maybe notice a speed up from using C# versus GD script, but it's like for day-to-day stuff, I don't think it's better from a I wouldn't pick that for the performance reason. Because if you were really smart, you would just be writing, if you had a performance sensitive piece of code, you'd write it in GD extension using C++, and then you just call it from GD script. And that would be like the great speed. Adagon, you can use GD script and then combine high performance stuff to C++. Exactly. Yeah, that's the pro move. I'm not a C++ programmer, so that's not an option for me. But that's definitely the pro move. They're making it, my understanding is the long term, you'll be able to use GD extension for whatever language you want to bind Godot to. So for some people, that's going to be C#. For some people, that'll be C++. For some people, it'll be Rust. My understanding is that the engine bindings are just going to get better. And you'll be more flexible, so you can just program in whatever language you want. All right, so how are we gonna place how are we gonna constrain this? Just for the doors. So that you can only place a door on top of a wall. I guess we could scrutinize what the palette tool is. I don't really want to do that. But I guess I could. This is going to make a lot of things complicated. LS, you grab stuff off of GitHub for stuff like that. You can't think of every performance boost ever, and the people of the internet are probably smarter than you. You would like to profess your love for Noloman, JSON, and Skypack. Oh, SkyPJack Ent on GitHub. Oh, those are some GitHub repos. Yeah, for sure. No, I am very hesitant. In my Unity days, I was like the first person to like grab plugins and stuff off of the marketplace, but I got burned so many times where I would try to do something and a plugin wouldn't support it or something like that, and I'd get stuck. I'd get blocked by I'd get some external blocker, and I wasn't good enough to like program my way around it or like go into their code and change it. And like I'm very hesitant to install plugins now, but I will when I get closer to the end of a project and I just need a solution and I need it in place. I get very hesitant to do it early though. To do it early in a project. Early in a project, I would rather just try to figure it out myself. But yeah, no, it's if you're looking for stuff like that, that makes sense to lean on you should always lean on that prior work that people have done to improve things like that. If you need okay. Entity. Oh, I think I did look at that one. I spent most of my time looking at Flex, the Flex ECS, as well as some ECSs that just were written in C# just so I could see how you would do it. I ended up kind of doing my own thing though, because I'm not like a big code gen guy. Not that I'm judging code gen, I like genuinely don't know how I'd approach that. So I ended up with I have a pretty janky ECS. I would never brag about it to anyone. All right, so when we try to place a block, we do all this. We place the blocks. We have this merge step where we attempt to place the block. I guess what we could do is we could add that to the merge step. The merge step could be like, is there already a bulk here? Then you cannot place a door if not. But the thing is, maybe merge could return a bool. To actually tell you, maybe merge and erase could return bools. Oh no, they return the blocks. Or this one. Oh no, that won't work then. kind of want it if you like click down and you like try to place a door and the door placement's not valid. I would rather not like treat that as an input because nothing actually changed. Like you attempted to do something that didn't work, but doing that is going to be hard. And honestly, this switch expression thing is, oh man, no, constraining this so that a door can only be placed on top of a wall is annoying. I don't know if I actually want to do this. Alio, hey, welcome in. Why are you using C# for Godot? I like C#. I've been using it a long time. I've also split off the simulation layer of this game into its own little world. So my simulation elements are nice little structs that they're not like nodes, and I didn't want to be constrained to the tree, the scene tree for the simulation stuff. I use Godot in this project. I use Godot as the rendering and the UI front end, and there's just a separate simulation back end that we wrote here. How are you doing though? Happy Friday. For you personally, GDScript? I like GDScript. I just wrote a game last weekend only using GDScript. Like when I'm game jamming, GDScript all day. This project just has a particular structure. And I also, before switching to Godot a couple years ago, I was a Unity like hobbyist developer for like 15 plus years. So C# is just my home. I'm comfortable with it. If I was a real programmer, quote unquote, I'd be writing all this stuff in C++ and then activating it from GDScript, like calling into it from GDScript, but writing all the complex system code and stuff in C++. That would be the ideal situation. But yeah, I like GDScript. I just feel like there's a size of project when the project is small. I really love GDScript. There's nothing else I'd rather use. But as the project starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger and more and more complex, I feel like just straight GDScript and like everything being a node and whatever, that becomes harder to manage. And so I kind of wanted to break away from that. It's obviously not impossible. Big games have been written in Godot. But for me personally, I have an easier time managing it this way. Godot is so much better for you. I agree. I love it. I never look back. I love Godot. I love its native 2D support. Making a 2D game in like Unity is so annoying, especially if it's pixel perfect. Godot is so good at pixel perfect compared to any other engine I've tried. I love it. I would not try anything else. So what we have here. Oh, maybe this is the trick. This is the trick. We just use forms. Maybe both. No, that's not right. That's not right. How do I constrain it so you can only place a door where there is a wall? Is that a reasonable constraint? Maybe that's not a reasonable constraint. It's an annoying constraint. I'm gonna ignore this for now. I don't want to deal with this. This is gonna be. I'll have to refactor a bunch of stuff if I want to do this. If I want to like add a condition to being able to do something like this, that requires a little more like evaluation of the state of things before letting players do something, or before letting the editor do something. So I don't want to mess with that right now. Oh yeah, I don't think it's impossible. I'm just talking about what's comfortable for me. If you're a solo dev and you have a way that you're comfortable developing and it's, you know, within the margins of acceptability, I feel like you should prioritize something like that. Because you're the one that's going to have to, you know, do the work and sit with the thing day after day. Like, the ergonomics of your own development, I think, are important. Within reason. Obviously, you can make objectively bad decisions from a process standpoint. All right, so I think we've sorted the door problem, except for the requirement that the door be placed on a wall, which is a tough requirement to maintain or to enforce. The big thing we need to do is start teaching the auto tiler about corner cases, but there are some edge cases that we need to solve, and we need to solve them sooner than later. Maybe before we go into the corner cases. Now we have to tighten up this. There's this set. There's this set of outlines, the inner outline here. This one. There's an inconsistency here that we need to resolve. That's kind of the most annoying thing to my eyes. Oh, let's see if that's the thing we were doing that I forgot, which is we need to let the wall needs to treat the door as a continuous surface for outlining. Because right now it's inserting this black outline here where the wall stops and the door starts, and I do not want that. Oh, I might have not painted this totally correctly. Oh, is that a painting issue? Yeah, that might be. Do we see that with the triple door? No, just this one. Okay, let's see. That's the upper section of the double door. Let's see why that looks weird. Why does that look weird? Upper section of the double door. Oh, it's this piece, huh? Okay. That doesn't make sense to me. As a solo dev, you need to do everything. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You need to do everything alone. Yeah, you said alone. Yeah. So, yeah, so whatever you can do. So, like, I should have made, you know, my simulation layer in C++, but I'm not a C++ programmer. So, if I decided to do that, this project would stop being, you know, this game I'm trying to make and would start being the Dave Learns C++ project, which is fine. It's good to have a project like that. But that means it becomes something very different. Ah, this is it. This is the problem right here. Oh, so this needs to be repainted like this. Okay. Like that. What is this weird, detuned, strange song I'm listening to? Didn't like that. So yeah, solo dev is a beast of its own, and yeah, you definitely need to be careful about how you're spending your time and where your resources are going. You really have to pick your battles very carefully. Sounds like you have a lot of experience with that sort of thing. What kind of stuff are you do you like working on? All right, this should fix this issue here. Do I have that issue anywhere else where I've like cut it off early? No, I don't think I'm doing that anywhere else. Yeah, that should be resolved now. Let's re-export that. Just test one quick set here. All right, no, that's still there. What the heck? Oh, I always forget this. I have to I just have to click on the engine. I have to bring it up for a quick second so it can re-import things. It doesn't do that in the background. I spend so much of my time in Writer that I'll do a bunch of stuff in Sprite, go back to Writer to test, and not even touch the engine. And that is a mistake when you have to re-import assets. One, two, okay, cut it in half. Okay, that looks right now. All right, now we just gotta tell. Oh my god, we're getting a raid. Raid alert. Hello, hello. Hey, Dino Christ. Hey, Cooler SK. How's it going, y'all? Welcome in. Thanks for the raid. This is Digital Iliad. We're working on a little isometric 2D FTL-like game. The programming languages are very similar. The only thing different is the syntax. I mean, the implementations can be different too, but I get what you mean. I think different problems can be described more or less easily in certain programming languages. But I think the general sense, that's pretty true. Like when we were talking about JavaScript and C# earlier, those languages are very similar, it feels. Like, I don't think you have to think particularly differently to use one or the other in that case. But I think there are some that are different, you know. How was the stream, good Dino Christ? What have you been working on? Hey, Arnio. Did I also say that you're an experienced dev? I'm saying you sound like an experienced dev. I was wondering what kind of stuff you're working on. You have no sound on this laptop? You'll go eat. Good luck. No worries. Thank you. Thank you, Dino Christ. Dino was unblowing up his room. That is something one should do occasionally. All right. Oh yeah, so what we're doing is derive bulk layer data. We're looking at our neighbor. Oh, this is why we did this, is because we want the doors to also have the bulk form. Right. Actually, will that just work? Because then if you place a door that's not in a valid spot, will it just draw a wall instead? Oh, maybe that's the way. I think that's going to be kind of annoying and hard to debug. There were wires and cardboard boxes and PC parts everywhere. Oh, that sounds awesome. We're working on our auto tiler / block tile editor tool here. I'll show you a little of it. Because we want to build these like 3D spaceships, and like render them in isometric 2D. This isn't really isometric, but you know what I mean. We want to take this 3D space and render it in 2D. And we're working on the doors at the moment because we added a new tile set atlas source that can include corner cases. We haven't taught the auto tiler about corner cases yet, so it's not handling them correctly. But we're working on this. We just added a different door format here so we can have single, double, or triple doors. And we're trying to address some issues with that. One is that you can technically just place doors anywhere and they'll just be invisible because the auto tiler doesn't know what to do. But I'm thinking that if placing a door is the same as placing a wall, the thing I wanted to do was make it so you can't place a door except where a wall already is. But I think that's kind of annoying. I think that's kind of an annoying constraint. So I don't actually want to do that. But it might solve some problems for us. So maybe we do try that. This looks pretty nice. Thank you. Yeah, we've been working on it a long time. We're getting pretty close to where I'll say I'm happy with it and we can move on to something else. LS, the hardest part of JavaScript is the lack of type annotations. TypeScript is a cool superset of JS. Yeah, TypeScript is cool. I definitely prefer statically typed languages. Alio, you know a lot of things about game dev. You never went serious in game dev. You didn't learn all the things that you need. You didn't learn all the things yet that you need to know to be a solo game dev. Well, yeah. I don't think you can learn all of that stuff in advance. You kind of just got to do it. Because, yeah, I'm not really much of an artist, but I've been studying pixel art now for a while, and I'm enjoying it a lot. I didn't think that was something. I thought that would be something I had to do, you know? But now it's become something I want to do and something I like to do, and I enjoy it. So, you know, we could try to work on the overlays. Now, let's fix this door thing. I said I was going to work on doors today. Let's figure out exactly how this is going to work. Yeah, because my problem is that I think if we accidentally put a door and it's not valid, because, like, I could technically just put a fourth door block thing here. Maybe we do need the invalid block tile. Like, just a broken door. I want something different than the magenta invalid tile thing that we're using. So maybe we'll just use... There isn't really room in the... Is there room? Did I leave room in this for that? I did not. What do I want to do about invalid doors? Illegal block. Yeah. We implemented, so this is like our regular tile set. We implemented an invalid block. So it's like this little guy. It's supposed to be kind of like the source engine, like magenta invalid, like missing texture thing. But this is just for if the texture is missing. It's not supposed to be like that block is illegal. What I would like to do is prevent you from placing the block if it's illegal. But that would obviously be like, would require this whole like reflective process before you're allowed to do anything. That sounds annoying to implement. Solo game dev is hard. I agree. It really is. I think that the healthy thing to do is to take a very methodical slow approach to it. Because your temptation is to go wide, but then you're like, you're constantly bouncing back and forth between different parts of the project. So I'm like all in on this tool, and like I could be working on something else, but I just want this tool to be done, and then I'll put it away and I'll go somewhere else, and I can free all that memory in my brain. Not have to think about this anymore. Context switching, that's like a productivity killer, right? It's like pretty well accepted to be like a big productivity killer. So context switching hurts. How do I want to deal with this? The question. The only real question here. Olio, make small games that are not complicated. They just need to be fun to play. I mean, that's fun for a time. I've been doing that. Jams, game jams. Especially if you're still learning, that's a great thing to do. So like, I have a few game jams up. They typically are pretty small. This is the one. Is itch down? Well, I'm trying to bring my latest little jam game up on itch, but itch seems to be having some trouble. When did Silksong come out again? Arneo, it could be pretty practical if you could place invalid blocks and make them valid later. Yeah, I thought about that. That was the expectation. Honestly, what might be good enough is to just render the single door and have an overlay that's just like the single door, but with like a big red overlay that's like, this block is not allowed to be here. That's probably what I want to do. Okay, so here's the game we made over the weekend. It's a cozy game about Bernard and his necessities. I made this by myself in 72 hours, so there's no audio, but I did all the art. I did all the code. Made this whole game from scratch in 72 hours. It's not much of a game, and this is fun. I love doing game jams. This is great, but this is a very different beast than like the project we're working on right now. This is a project. This is a little project. It's like good for learning. It's good for getting yourself out there. It's good for It's good for, getting experience. But there will come a time where you're like, I want to start working on a commercial project. And a commercial project is not small. A commercial project, even if the scope is very tight, the quality bar is insanely high. The cross-disciplinary demands that will be made on you is ridiculous. So like, I love doing these sort of things. I grew a lot last weekend making this. Like, I haven't done this kind of art before. Like, it was really nice. I learned a lot about player interactions and stuff like that. And so I had a great time. This was a good learning experience. But yeah, I don't think you can just do this unless, it's a hobby. I think if you're trying to be a commercial game dev, eventually you got to move beyond this. And then you start dealing with all the problems of a big project. You deal with production problems, timeline stuff, dependency management. There's a lot to manage in a bigger project. So yeah, I like small games that are not complicated. I like working on them. But eventually you might want to work on one that is complicated. And that requires a different set of skills. There's no fish coming, is there? All right, well, oh, here he is. We'll just hang out here while the fish comes down. I'll move up a little. Arneo, it's not small at all. It's got early game berries, mid game apples, and late game fish. That's a nice way to think about it. Go for it. Get it. All right, we got it. Yeah, I really This was very enjoyable making this to me. I want to do more of these sorts of things. I am kind of I'm kind of gravitating towards cozier things, stuff that's more heavy on atmosphere and less heavy on mechanics and stuff. But that kind of game is very content heavy. God, never again with the texture progress bar. I hate the way this behaves. I hate control nodes. And we'll send Bernard here back to bed, and then we'll get back to work. Good night, sweet prince. All right, he's fast asleep. We can go. Do I have an itch link on my website? I don't think I do. Maybe I do. I do not. I gotta add that. Starting to get enough jam games up there where I don't mind directing people towards my itch page, which is just digitaliliad.itch.io. There's a link at the bottom of the channel page on Twitch, but yeah, on YouTube, I don't think there's any way to find it. So I gotta work on that. All right, so yeah, so maybe what we do is we just change the system to just draw a regular door and we put a red overlay across it. Maybe that's what we do. So what we would say here, we'd go down here. Because yeah, I just don't, the thing that I want to avoid that's like the terrible case, which would be, yeah, like this. So we can say, instead of source ID 15, we can say source ID 0. We can say Atlas chords is cutaway has. I guess we should see if we have an axis, door axis. If we have an invalid door, what does that look like in terms of the door axis? Like if we have a door that's technically facing both ways or something, what do we call that here? Where is this thing? Here we go. Oh, nope, that's not it. Here it is. Door tile.
Maximum warp.
Hey, no, Joel. Maximum warp. How's it going? X door form is not equal to single. Y door form is not equal to form to single. Door form is invalid. Door tile with door axes equals. Axes equals. Okay. So we're overwriting the axes. We're not oring the axes, which we could do. No, I guess the way we've written this is correct. So we'll just query the axes down here. We'll say, so if we have an invalid door, what we want to do, we set source ID is 0, which is the single door, which I think is correct. We can We can check to see if it's interior or out exterior. Okay. So we'll set this up for the invalid door. We'll say Atlas coords. We can actually put this above, huh? I guess we could say this. Here we could say, we can also say door tile dot axes is equal to axes dot y. Then we can say Atlas coords equals Atlas coords. Y equals Atlas coords dot y plus 2. Let's reverse the order of that. You know, we could put this, I think we should put these conditions above this, huh? We're going to do this comparison anyway.
Isn't about appeasing the crowd. Rather, it's about tending to the broken parts inside of ourselves. We create things as a reflection of this struggle to study our perception of self.
Okay, so here if we're invalid, we say source ID is 0. We also... Actually, maybe we don't need to say anything else.
Rather, it is a state of mind which you constantly strive toward.
Let's see. We do want to know whether it's interior or exterior.
But fluid, like water.
That's pretty much it. And we could put that here. We could actually say Atlas coords equals door tile. No, it'd be hull. Hull dot hull is equal to hull dot inner. X equals Atlas coords dot x plus 1. Otherwise 0. Or whatever. Otherwise Atlas coords. Okay. We can just say this. We can say return new tile. Alright, so that handles at invalid. All we're gonna do there then ooh, maybe what we do is we have alternative tiles for this specific purpose. That could be good in the short term. That might not be our long-term solution, but that could be what we do here in the short term. We just make alternative versions of these tiles here that are like shaded a particular way to be invalid. Let's do that. That seems fun. We'll just modulate them red for now. That's a good temporary solution. Let's see how that works. I would eventually like to have some kind of scrutinizer that before a tool takes effect, it can see like, is this a legal thing that you're making? And then it just won't make it if it is. So like if I have this double door here and then I try to add a door in front of it, well, that ostensibly sort of works, but we're not actually using the alternative tile. So here we say 1. Oh, here we go. So yeah, this is invalid. And then we pop it in here and it's fine. 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 And then if I try to make a quad door, yeah, see? They're all like, nope. For now, this seems acceptable to me. I don't think this is how I want it to be permanently, but this might be good enough for now. Just so I'm not accidentally, because my problem is I'll be like accidentally placing doors somewhere and then not realize it because they're not rendering. Oh, this is interesting. So what if I erase a door there? Oh yeah, that's invalid because it's exposed. Cool. If I place the door. Okay, yeah, I like this. I think this is a good temporary solution here. Acceptable. Okay, I think that's it for doors for the moment then. Which is great because that's kind of what we were trying to do today. Is there a finalize type button that can only be pressed when the design is valid? You're thinking this is like Cosmeteer. There will be. So there will be like save. So you could save an invalid thing, right, while you're working on it, in case it's not done yet. Then there will be like a publish or export button or something like that. Yeah, some kind of finalize like button. And that will not be pressable until you've dealt with every invalid block. Because we're going to need to start dealing with issues like this. Like What if you have one set of blocks over here, you know? And then you've got like another set of blocks over here. What if they don't actually connect to each other? You know? Well, then what should happen is one of these should be set to be invalid, right? And like you can't publish this because it's not one ship. It's like, so there will be a number of requirements. One is that like everything is connected, yeah. So yeah, we'll have something like that. I think that's correct. The next thing we're going to need to work on are these auto tiling rules at some point. Well, I say the next thing. Something we really need to work on is the auto tiling rules. But we also need to re-enable the masks that we had, like the overlays, like the hover overlay and the select overlay. We'll have to work on this stuff too. Might save that for later. I know this is a short stream. I know we've been doing short streams all week, but I'm still pretty exhausted from the game jam, and I've been working really hard to catch up at work. So we might, since we accomplished the goal we set out to do today, we might call it here and pick this up tomorrow. Because anything else I pick up now is not going to be something we can do in like a short period of time. That might be the thing to do. Oop. Save. Yeah, I'm tempted to do that. I'm tempted to call it for now and pick this up tomorrow. Yeah, we'll be here at the same time tomorrow. I'll probably try to do a longer stream tomorrow to make up for it a little bit. Thanks for the stream. Hey, Rimas. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Sorry it was a short one. I think we did good work though. Yeah, I'm just so exhausted from last weekend. The game jam was so good, but it was so I would like to do more of them, but I don't know if I could handle it. I think our like twice a year is like a pretty good frequency, but I would like to maybe find 1 or 2 more game jams to do. Maybe we do it. Maybe we make it like a once a quarter thing or something. Yeah, I want to say thank you all so much for watching. If I don't see you this weekend, I hope you have a great rest of your week. Yeah. Nice seeing new faces in here, same faces, old faces, all sorts. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'm going to see y'all next time. Bye.